let's get started with game 1 of this semifinals between, on the left hand side we have the starter deck, the very first one from DM01, and on the right hand side we have the Rise of Dragonoids deck. And this is of course the last semifinals. After this one we will know who our finalists are for the structure deck bracket tournament. So let's see if we get something exciting here. It seems like we're getting a 2-drop. It's a Burning Mane from the starter set, so already a decent start. I don't know if the Dragonoids deck had any 2-drops. It had Braid Claws for 1-drops, but I can't actually remember. But let's see. Just some base set cards, just some vanillas, but they are doing the job. They are swinging in already down to 4 shields with 2 creatures on board. I mean, honestly, like this is not a bad start from the starter set, wink wink. And of course it's like Cocolupia from the Dragonoids deck is like the best 3-drop you can have generally, but like in this situation I don't know if it's actually doing much. I mean, it's just a 1000 power, and okay, you can summon dragons for cheaper, but you're down to 2 shields and there's 3 creatures on board already. I mean, it's turn 4 and the starter set is presenting lethal on board. It just goes to show how efficient like early pressure is in Duel Masters in general. You don't even need strong creatures, you just have like 2-drop, 3-drop and 4-drop and you're presenting lethal. I see an energy charger in hand which could be used to trade, but like if you trade, you don't actually improve your board state. Your Cocolupia dies and then you're dead next turn anyway. So this play in which you go, okay, I summon another Cocolupia and the Bruiser Dragon for 1 mana, and then okay, I just hope that I have a shield trigger. I think this is the only way you ever win. Because if you just like trade in your Cocolupia and then it dies, then you have no board and you're facing a full board next turn. So yeah, let's see if there's a shield trigger. And no shield trigger, GG. Game 2, a very surprising in my eyes win from starter set in game 1. I mean, they just won in 5 turns. It's like playing Rush over here, and they didn't do anything special. It's just like, you know, 2-drop creature, 3-drop creature, 4-drop creature, and just attack, and there's no removal. So I guess that can always happen with the starter set, huh? Let's see if they manage to pull this off again. I think Furious Onslaught was in mana last game as well. It's just not... I don't think I've ever seen that card resolve in this tournament, or even while playing with it in general. I don't think I've seen Furious Onslaught ever do something, but... yeah, let's see. Deadly Fighter Braid Claw... that's Burning Mane again on turn 2. Will we see a repeat of last game? But this game we see the other Firebird. We see Totopipichi instead of Cocolupia, which is arguably better as it's more proactive, and a blocker from the starter set, no more attacking 3-drops, so the early pressure is not quite there. And there's a Magma Dragon Melgars, which can attack now because of the speed attacker ability given by Totopipichi. And there we go, Burning Mane is just dead, deciding to keep the blocker, which is interesting, probably correct. And yeah, charging a fire mana, which means we see a Fire Sweeper Burning Hellion. That's not a bad card here because it can conceivably destroy the Melgars if that creature attacks, but there's a Bruiser Dragon, which is so scary. Actually surprised they decided to attack with the Magma Dragon in the first place, but I guess, yeah, you're applying some pressure. But now they broke a Tornado Flame, which is scary because... yeah, now Magma Dragon Melgars is dead, and all of a sudden it seems like the pressure is the other way around. Base set now with more pressure on board, as there's just a Bruiser Dragon for Dragonoids. And I mean, the Bruiser Dragon is still strong. It's 5000, it can destroy everything on the board, though it does get traded by Dragglide. And yeah, of course, deciding to block the attack, I think that's definitely correct. And now it's a very interesting situation. Let's see what happens. Volcano down here, and Dragglide is forced to attack, but not going for shields, destroying Bruiser Dragon instead, which I actually... I think it was better there to attack it with the Fire Sweeper, because I mean, there's an argument to be made that Dragoid has to attack, so you have to give him cards and shields, but I still think it was better to take the trade with Hellion. Anyway, maybe a potential misplay, though it's arguable, but let's go back to the game. A Tornado Flame destroying the Burning Hellion as well. And now I think I would have even attacked with the Magma Dragon, but it seems like starter set is drawing dead cards, which is not ideal. It's really not what they want right now. And Coco Lupia as well, followed by a Pyrofighter Magnus. Okay, so it seems like we're going to start seeing some aggression here. And no more shield triggers. This is getting dangerous. With the Pyrofighter in hand, Dragonoids is presenting lethal next turn. So yeah, Bayside needs to do something to defuse this situation. And let's see, it's a Meal Vizier of Lightning, which means that Coco Lupia will get destroyed this turn. And yeah, I mean, that does prevent the lethal, but it doesn't really... Like, they're not presenting lethal next turn themselves, so it's difficult because if Dragonoids now breaks the final shield, I don't really know what base set can do. And deciding, okay, instead of going for full out shields, deciding to play it safe and kill the ear, Vizier of Bullets, and they let it die because they really need that blocker to survive next turn. This is a very intense game and very back and forth. I am curious to see what will happen. Rotus the Traveler. That's nice because it does kill one of the attackers. Oh, but no second creature. Second creature would have been so good because then you can break shield and threaten lethal next turn. That would have been so good. But unfortunately, no second creature, and now it's just looking so bad. Because, yeah, they need to clear the board and summon a blocker to get rid of the Pyrofighter, which is not impossible. DM1 does have blockers, but it seems like a Trihorn Shepherd instead, and that will not be enough. Fearfang, yeah, it's just GG. It's just GG. Game 3, the deciding game. All of these games so far have been way more interesting than I thought. Honestly, I'm impressed at how well the starter set is doing, if I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think they would make it this far. I mean, they're on game 3, almost getting into the final of the structure deck tournament, but I guess just like having creatures, like having cheap creatures is always so good in Duel Masters, like in general because of the rule set. But finally, we see a Deadly Fighter Braid Claw on turn 1, and I bet now they wish they had that Laura Giga, but maybe they didn't have light mana for it. And no 2-drop either, and this Braid Claw will do some damage, and there's a second Braid Claw. This is already, honestly, just 2 Braid Claws. These guys can go the distance. This is looking scary. But unfortunately, a Senatine Jade Tree to stop all of the aggression. That's unfortunate. Oh, never mind. We have a Comet Missile. We have a Comet Missile to kill that blocker, and oh my god, okay. I mean, the thing is, the Dragonoids deck went all out on this one. Like, they're probably gonna break all the shields next turn, but they don't really have anything else, and starter set has so many cards in hand right now. So let's see what happens. 4 mana tapped. Oh, Furious Onslaught, turning Deadly Fighter into a double breaker. Finally, we see a Furious Onslaught resolve, and let's see if there's a shield trigger. No shield trigger. Oh my god. What a match, man. What a match. It's so interesting. Like, Dragonoids won the 3rd game on turn 4. That's like Fire Nature Rush level of aggression and shield breaking. And even then, game 1, starter set won on turn 5. So actually, Dragonoids ended 2 games out of 3 on 4 mana, which was very interesting. So just 2 very aggressive decks competing to out-aggress each other. I think this was quite a showdown. But the Dragonoids deck won, and we know who one of our finalists is. Of course, I will be reviewing the full Structure Deck Tournament bracket in just a second. If you haven't watched the other games yet and don't want to get spoiled, you can close this video now. Take care.